Welcome back, my friends. It is September 28th, 2018, 12:16 p.m. And about an hour and a half ago, we had a major earthquake in Indonesia, particularly Palu, Indonesia, Palu. This was a 7.5. It showed up as a 7.9 when I first saw it. This earthquake was very shallow, 10 kilometers deep. That's basically the lowest depth you get on this chart, at least when you go to the USGS. But you can count on them lowering the magnitude for sure. But there was a tsunami involved with this. There's been reported deaths already. What I find interesting is that the National Buoy Center, the one buoy here is going off just to the northwest of Australia. The earthquake took place up in this area here where the station is actually shut off. But I pulled up Google Earth here. This is exactly where the epicenter of the earthquake was. You can see it's by Lende. You can move up a little bit, and above it is Magapa, I believe it's called. But the actual tsunami has been reported in Palu City, which is this area here. So the shaking, the earthquake here actually caused the tsunami to come down in this area, which also means the tsunami has hit other areas. This is actually like an ongoing situation, so we don't even know the extent of what we're dealing with yet. But certainly a major earthquake, 7.5 to 7.9. I saw 7.9 before they removed it and put up 7.5. What's interesting is the USGS is not labeling this as any sort of issue. They don't even have the earthquake on here right now. Maybe if I hit refresh, we'll see what happens if they've picked it up yet. They have not. Their last recorded earthquake for causing a possible tsunami was on the 23rd. We know for a fact this causes tsunami. There's already video online of it. Wow, that's actually kind of interesting to me that they don't even have the tsunami shown on the USGS website. But here you go. Tsunami hits Indonesia's Palu after strong earthquake. So you can see these images here. I'll play a little bit of it for you. Definitely not a good situation. They're already reporting deaths from this, guys. So I'll play a little bit of it. You can see the wave coming in here. This is just as the wave is coming in. A 6 to 9 foot wave. You can see some of the debris around in this area here has already been... So one wave already came in. This is actually the second wave. So you can see the destruction that's already caused. This is via the BBC. I don't want to play any more of that without permission. But I'm going to post these articles. You can see the shake map here. Palu is right down in that gully we just saw on Google Earth here. This is Palu City right in here. So kind of you're stuck in this area. If you get any sort of jolt or wave that goes in here, it's going to batter off all these sides here. And then eventually, obviously, it's going to make it right to the city. We were probably looking at an area right around here in that video. But just think of the wave being almost like a sound. It bounces off different walls. It'll repeat itself. It'll come back out of this area. So we need to keep an eye out for a lot more information about this. Now, as far as the deaths go, I'm not sure if that is caused by the earthquake directly. Again, very shallow earthquake. Anyone in this area absolutely felt it. These buildings were certainly damaged. If we're talking 10 kilometers deep, probably even more shallow than that. We have all this population here along the edge. On top of that, a tsunami. And as the tsunami travels, guys, it gets bigger. So all these areas are at risk here. If I zoom out here, the entire Makassar Strait, you could call it, this entire part of the sea here is at risk for this tsunami right now. And it's only been about an hour and a half. These things sometimes take hours to get across the ocean and hit other areas. So we may be seeing reports coming from the other side here, Bantagan City. Any of these areas on this side too may be feeling parts of this wave. And I'm trying to find another article I had pulled up for you where I could show you some more of that video, but it seems to have disappeared. Unfortunate there. But anyway, you could see here They're talking about the 2004 tsunami that was triggered by an earthquake off Sumatra that killed 226,000. That was across the Indian Ocean. So they're giving you kind of stats from the past here. But this was clearly a big earthquake right in Indonesia, the islands of Indonesia, considered Indonesia. And then that wave, and you could see the shake map here. So anywhere where this circle, this diameter is, pretty much besides this side, I don't see any of the tsunami making it on this side of the land, being that the earthquake was on this side. If anything, it would be these areas here that would be at risk. And certainly we know Palu was at risk because there's already video coming out of the damage. Let's see if we can see anything here. Waves of up to 2 meters, 6.6 feet. Highs swept through Palu on Sulawesi Island not long after authorities had lifted a tsunami warning. So they had already lifted the warning, and then the tsunami came. So that is not good at all. That means people were on their way back to whatever villages they were from close to the beach. That's not good at all. A video on social media shows people screaming and fleeing in panic, and a mosque amongst the buildings damaged. Officials have reported 5 deaths, but it's not clear if those were a result of the tsunami or the earthquake they're probably saying there. Last month, a series of earthquakes struck the Indonesia islands of Lombok, killing hundreds of people. If you guys remember, we had a long string of earthquakes that went through Indonesia all through the summer, not just August, actually. They're just mentioning August 5th. That situation killed more than 460 people. So, again, guys, major earthquake. You can see right here, 7.5 north of Palu, Indonesia. So the earthquake happened north of the city of Palu, which is right here. Let me back up there. This is this city of Palu here. And you can just imagine what these people must be going through right now. So I will keep you guys posted on this. This basically just happened within the last couple hours. Again, this is the epicenter of the earthquake. For those of you that want to check it out, those are the coordinates right here. You could take a look at those. So all these areas here definitely damaged all over the place. All this up here, the entire coast, they felt this everywhere, guys. A very shallow quake, very strong quake with a tsunami involved. Never a good thing. All right, guys, I'll bring you any updates that I get as they come in. Thank you for listening, and I'll be back with a weather update. We got something to talk about in the Pacific Ocean. Rosa and Sergio, I believe, are on their way north towards California and Arizona. We'll be back to talk about that shortly, guys. Take care. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.